I'm so sorry. I'm going to say for my absence, but I just recorded this video and the sound was corrupt. So here I am again. Right. So, first of all, I am really sorry for being absent for I think about 2 months now, and I was slow with videos for the couple of months prior. Just to explain what's been happening is come autumn last year, I launched my Patreon. Thank you so much for your support on this. Then in December, I made a decision of Patreon was going well, so I wanted to expand my tiers. I started with just this particular tier here, tier 1, where you could have 2 cutters a month. I will release them, and it's £3, $3, whatever your currency is, it will auto convert if you click on the Patreon. Because I decided doing well and I want to be able to offer you more options, I had to add all my back stock onto my Patreon shop here, and that was over 1,000 STL, so that did take the majority of December and January, as well as maintaining my Etsy and my cults. So anyway, we do have more tiers. So this one is just a thank you tier. So if you just want to support £2 a month, really appreciated. You don't get any benefits for it. We've got my pre-existing tiers, so 2 SDL packs a month. They come out in the first 2 weeks. The next tier, which is the 2 SDLs a month from the previous tier, and you also get 1 Patreon exclusive cutter a month. That comes out in the first 2 weeks as well. Tier 3, you actually get 10 SDL packs a month, plus a Patreon exclusive. Tier 4, you get all the earring jewelry clay cut STL packs I designed that month, and the Patreon exclusive. And then the next one is all clay cutters that month, any homeware cutters like trinket dish cutters. You also get that, and any texture rollers, bead rollers, clay tools you get, as well as a Patreon exclusive cutter. And then the last tier, you get all of the previous ones, plus also Selfie Studio STLs, which is like vases, trinket dishes. So they're not clay cutters, they're actually the prints of it, and items like that. So the reason why I've gone into Patreon, apart from a bit of self-promotion, because a girl's gotta make some money, is this is actually where the STL that we'll be working on is housed. I'm going to put the link in the description below. You do not need to be a member to access this, so just click the link. Everyone can download this STL. This tutorial is a little bit different from what's actually happened before, so we're not using Fusion 360 for this. It's just because I've had quite a few questions where my preferred method is not to use Fusion 360 to achieve these. Although completely doable in Fusion 360, I find the program that we're going to go to a lot quicker. Now, this program is 3D Builder. So this one here, most Windows PCs will have it automatically downloaded. If not, you can download it for free from the Microsoft Store. 3D Builder, no subscription. There's no pay to unlock these features. It is very, very basic, just to let you know. It isn't one I believe has any capability to design a clay cutter from scratch, but it has the capability to do certain amendments that are a lot easier and quicker in this program than there are in Fusion 360. So once you've downloaded this, once you've downloaded my STL, you will open up and it'll look a lot like this. So if you click open, you will see all the ones that I did on the tutorial that failed. So we'll be doing them again. So click the file you downloaded, it'll look like this. You have to click import, otherwise this one, I've got no tools here, I've just got measurements. My STLs are in millimeters, so keep that, and click import. So by holding using the keyboard, your mouse pad, like as in a click, and using your other finger to wiggle around, you can navigate this. If you use your mouse, just kind of click and swirly. I think that's a technical term, right? But you'll be able to navigate. So one thing I like about this program is once I've made a STL pack, I like to quality check, because this will light up any errors. So I will click this. I have to click import, and if it highlights with a red box around it, I know there's an error with that STL. So it did take me a minute, but I found an old one. Was this it? Old one. So as you can see, it looks fine. Yeah, because I clicked import. And yes, this is a taco. So it's got a red box. So one of the more objects invalidly defined. Click here to repair. If I click this, this repairs very quick. On more complex ones, it may take a few minutes. And whatever the issue was that my naked eye could not see, because if we click back here, I can't really see a problem with it. But like it has identified something which could just be like a little thin wall or a tiny little extrusion that won't print, but wherever it is, it has fixed it for me. So that is absolutely fine. So I want to save this copy because if I don't save it, well, I'm just going to save the error one. If I just want to save it over, I just click save and it would save over whatever file it was. Because this is for tutorial purposes, I don't actually want to save over my file, which I normally would. So I'll click save as, so error one fix. No, yeah, that's my previous one. Now I save my STLs as STLs. This program is so easy to convert it into other ones as well, like 3MF OBG. Those are really good for 3D printing as well and compatible on a lot of slices. So you've got this as a really nice way to convert files. First of all, with these three programs, Fusion 360 is not the nicest to import meshes into, which we'll cover in one thing. But for now, this program is really good to convert an STL into a different type. So anyway, save that, fabulous. But we're actually going to go back to the file that we're working with. So load object, and it was a 40mm one. Okay, so this is the file that we're working with. Now, this is a combo file. It's two pieces. Say for example, I printed this, and this top piece didn't print nice, and I just wanted to reprint this top piece. Well, if I import this, you could put blockers in or something like that with a slicer, but it's probably going to be easier for me to do this. So when I click on this, both are highlighted with a blue outline, both are selected. So I want to ungroup them. I want them to no longer recognize as parts, and then if I click on them, only one part will highlight. So I said I want to just reprint this top piece. So I want to get rid of this bottom one. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to literally hit the delete button. So I'm going to file, save as, because I don't want to override my previous file because I still want to be able to print the full piece down the line. So I'm going to save as and top bit and save it as an STL. So let me just load that. As you can see, I have just got the top bit there. So now I can reprint that. I haven't wasted the bottom bit. I don't have a spare bottom bit. Or if, for example, I bought this file and I only really had once for the top bit or the top aspect, I could just print that without having to, saving filament, saving time, saving electricity, saving printer bed space, is great. I can do what I want there. So anyway, I'm just going to click undo because we're going to go back to the whole thing. So we're going to select all. I'm going to group them back together just as if I had reopened this file. Now, I don't know if you're a bit like me. I like to, when I make earrings, have them symmetrical, so not both facing the same way. So, say for example, I bought this STL and feel like I want to be able to, mirrored earrings, they sell better, if you're particularly like me. So I want to make mirrored copies so my customers can buy, one side, the other side, both sides. It allows me to do it. So I can copy and paste like you would normally, which is Control C, Control V. If you're not too familiar with keyboard shortcuts, that is fine. Select it, object, copy, paste. Now, you can see the pasted one is the highlighted one, which is great. If I clicked off that, that's absolutely fine. I just need to select which one I want to mirror. So as you can see, the mirrored options here, so still in object, mirror. So now this allows me to offer this as a mirrored set. So save as mirrored set and STL. So that way I'm not having to go in all the time and duplicate and mirror on a slicer, because I know my customers this one, want mirrored sets, or I want to be able to offer mirrored sets. If, for example, I just wanted to offer it facing this direction, again, you just select one you want to get rid of, save that, set half, and it's just that side. You can see how quick it is to flip it to save it there. So that is great. So we've covered repairing, splitting, mirroring. We resplit again because you split the mirrored bit, and just having that. Now what we're going to do is cover adding text. So I'm just going to centralize this. So you can double click somewhere and it will do it, or you can do select all, center view. It will always do this tilt, but if you drag up, you can angle. Now, first of all, when you buy an STLs from somebody else, check that the seller is happy for you to make any modifications to their STLs to sell it on. Because I can't speak on behalf of other sellers or what licenses and what allowances they do. Just to give you clarity, myself, Atlee Cutley, Selfie Designs, I am happy for you to make any modifications for any physical prints. You can't digitally share or resell my digital files. What you do physically with it, go for it. So, say for example, I was an Atlee Cutley, say I didn't buy this, but I didn't design it, but I bought this STL and I wanted to give a bit of a branding distinction. This is 3D Builder is great because it works so much nicer with existing STLs and Fusion 360 where you got import, convert to mesh, etc. So I want to put my brand initials on here and I want to put them on all my STLs, so it gives, when a customer buys a cutter from me, they know it's mine. So say, for example, in 3 months, a bit like, I love this cutter. Oh yeah, it's the one with you see Atlee Cutley on it, and they put it on all theirs. Okay, so we are going to go and object. Is it object? No, edit. It is edit. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to emboss. So I could do Atlee Cutley. Give a minute. Now, I won't tend to do this because long words, as you can see, this it. So they will angle out. Okay, so, and the U was completely swallowed in there. Yeah, completely swallowed. So my brand name is too big, but you don't want all that. That's just going to add printing time anyway. So if you are going to brand, you probably want to keep it to initials. So Atlee Cutley, that, and there you go. If you did have a small and simple logo, you'd have to make sure it's black and white, but you could load it, or you can use these existing shapes. Yeah, it works well with black and white. But anywho, planar I do want because that follows a plane. I don't want cylindrical, somehow gone in there with cylindrical. Let me just click there because it does angle out a lot. Spherical, so you can see it's kind of going as if it's on a sphere. So planar is what you kind of want. So what I would suggest that you do is test your fonts, test your placements. Okay, so we're going to show you now. We're going to add a load, probably 3 or 4. So it depends if that's a load of initials on here, so we can kind of determine where for me what the best font is. where to put it and what kind of way, because there's bevel option, and I'll show you. I don't love this. You don't need to do this, but I am just making the font black just so it's easier for you to see on the computer. So as you can see, that looks lovely and smooth from here, lovely and smooth. But it don't print so well. And that is a bevel option. So I'm just gonna put another one here. That's fine. So we're gonna get rid of the bevel. Now this is the depth of it here. So if I wanted to stick out 5mm, I could have it stick out, but that ain't gonna print. So at 0.5. This is kind of why I like the non-beveled option. So I'm gonna click emboss there. And that seems to stick out decently. You know, it should be relatively readable. I don't necessarily know if I want it on the body. Maybe I want it on the handle. I do have a slightly smaller area to work with because it's only 3mm, but you know, we'll put it on there. Right, so why do I keep on going to that? So it's edit emboss. So you just double click the placement, you know, to move it about. It's pretty nice to do so. As you can see, that's kind of cut off the bottom, so I'm just going to click and drag, and that looks like okay. So emboss, that's fine. Now I'm going to play about with fonts now. So this is a nice sans serif, so it's got no serifs. Correct me if I am incorrect with that. Font. So if I did want a serif font, one thing to be aware of, let's find one. We'll do this actually because everybody loves handwriting font. So you've got to be aware that this is going to print not so wonderfully because of thin lines. So like serifs, could stick you up here. Okay, I think I've embedded you in too much. We're going to have to ignore that one and re-put it in. So emboss, stick there. Cool. I'm just going to repair this. So that is just so thin. It's not going to print nice. And here's another option, but it does only give you about 2mm to work with, so you do need to be careful with it. And let's actually find a sans serif, not sans serif, serif font. This one. I want to rotate this because it's not quite in the right spot. I need to scale it. It should be this one, scale. And move it. Okay. Right. Here's my absolutely Frankenstein. And don't be afraid of doing this because you're not saving over. You're just making copies. You might as well stick 20 on there, you know, to find out what you want to do and then pick which ones you like. So okay, so let's have a look at it. So this one hasn't come into, oh, we got to slice it, forgot about that. So as you can see, that one, it was so thin, didn't really work. Okay, this is a beveled one. It doesn't stick out much. These ones, sans serif ones, they seem nice and uniform. There's no bits missing. The blue bit is just any overhang. It's preset, comes up if it needs supports. Anything normally that sticks out 1mm is normally fine. This is 0.5. So that's why I'm saying there's no issue with stability, no pop-ups come up, so that's fine. Even there's overhang, and then this one kind of looks maybe a little bit too thin to be noticeable, but everything is your choice. You kind of figure it out. But yeah, stick as many on there. Me personally, I would go, okay, this font, I'll stick it on the handle here, and I'd also stick it on the top bit there. So I'm not saving that. Let's just load it up again. So SE40, right, so import. So I know, I didn't even take note of that font, did I? Right, emboss. I think it's down in the S's on there. No, these are serif fonts. How do you look? Yeah, let's go with this. So I would go, okay, you know what, I'm going to stick you here on the handle. Not beveled. Fabulous. Emboss. Emboss. Save as. Emboss. Blend it. So now then, with my clay cutter STL that I bought, I have now branded it. But again, like I said, if you are buying STLs, check with the seller that they're fine for you to do this. Check what their licenses are. Me, myself, Hadley Cutley, we're absolutely fine for you to do it. You do also have the option to do the add logo, so emboss. You know, as long as it's a simple logo, you're working with a small area. This is 3mm. You know, you're working with a small area. You know, stick a heart on it, wherever you want. You know, to make it more. I'm just going to save over. You know, brand it yourself. Add your branding kind of thing. There you go, heart, you see. So like this is really nice, easy way of personalizing your cutters, making yours more memorable. So your buyers will be able to identify which ones are yours easy. And without having to look through their history, they can go, this cut is great. I love how this cuts. You know, I love the shipping. Oh, great. Yeah, it's an Ugly Cutly, whatever your brand name is. I'm going to buy again. So that covers adding text, you know, to it to make it personal. So time to reopen again. Now, another thing that you can do as well is, let me just get the cutter up. Right. So this is a split cutter. So it does allow a person to use it in a combo like this. I could then just use a top bit and add dangly bits to it. I could use a bottom bit and dangly bits to it. It's quite versatile. However, I am a kind of person that I don't always put things away when I should. So what this would mean is I would buy this cutter, I would use it, think great, like this is sorted, you know, put them down, you know, go walk off, have dinner, come, you know, cook my clay earrings, come back 2 days time, tidy up, you know, in a 5-minute flurry, and these two bits are now forever divorced. So a way to overcome this is offering options. So allow a customer to buy them split like this. Also allow your customer to buy them merged. So I've just ungrouped mine because I reloaded it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge these two. So what I want to make sure the cutting walls have a gap to cut, but this handle area, we're going to merge this. So these are now touching, and we're going to go to object. maybe it's edit merge. Okay, edit merge. So this has now made it one cutter. This is one body, there's no splitting. So save as, merge cut. Merged cut. I'm just whizzing around like a crazy person. Right. So this is no longer two cutters, it is one cutter. So you've bought an STL pack, you've merged, well, you can offer them separate, you can offer them merged. Your customers can kind of go, no, I want them separate, or you know what, I'm the worst at keeping them together. If I have them together, really handy. If you do this, just make sure your cutter walls are separate and not too close, just so it doesn't impact the cut. You could, by all means, I know this is a shape that works fine enough with each other, but you kind of can play about with how to merge them, especially when it becomes to weird shapes and stuff like that. You might just kind of want to go select all, merge, okay, let's do that, especially if it's like a flowery dangle, as long as this handle bit is touching and these cutter walls are fine, merge them how you will then, and how it's going to be good for your print time and filament usage, because that does all add up. So that is the 3D builder, what I use 3D builder for. As you can see, so we've covered, I don't know how long it's been now, 20 minutes, 25. So 3D builder really good for repairing STLs, identifying when there's an issue, repairing. Like I said, maybe 1 out of 20 times 3D builder will actually not repair and actually cause a clay cutter to be crazy. In that case, go back to Fusion 360, figure out where the error is. But 19 out of 20 times, you don't need to figure out the error. 3D builder will. You can, with combo STLs, you can split them and save them separately. You can save them as different file types, so like 3MF, OBG. I know they're relatively well used. I don't really know what these are for, but if you know, comment below. Moving STLs is literally a click of a button in this. Fusion 360, it is not as easy to move. Like, once you get used to it, it's fine, but even I prefer 3D builder because literally copy and paste and mirror. It's 2 buttons. Adding text to brand the cutters as your own, or like a heart or a logo or something to distinct them. Really nice. Moving STLs or touching on that. Let me just go back. So split to, right, don't want to save. Sometimes when you might buy or you're making in Fusion 360, is not the nicest to place them. So sometimes what I'll do when I make them, because you got to set your offsets and stuff like that, I'll have them quite spaced away. Let me just zoom out. They might be like this. Select all group. I don't want to sell them like that because people aren't going to want them to take up that much space on their printer bed. It's going to add travel time. It's going to use up a lot of their printer beds, so they can't. Is this it? That's a lot of gap. So if you do design it, I like to just move them about here, and group, select, and you can place them in a way then that makes more print efficiency and space efficiency as well. So anyway, moving STLs and merging them. So I will be going back to Fusion 360, but I wanted you guys to know this tool because it offers so much. It's free. Yes, you can't build clay cutters, but you can do a lot with STLs that you either design or you buy and run them as your own. So I thought that was quite important. So I know you guys for Fusion 360 want to learn about importing DXFs, importing SVGs, importing canvases, seamless texture rollers. I know I have had a few requests on how I do my Etsy videos because it turns, and how I do my rendering. I'm kind of torn on the fence if I'll do that because that's very much like my brand identity. But maybe I'm just not sure yet if I will do a video on that. But let me have a little think about it. I think there was a few others. I do have a list somewhere, but this is my second time recording the video. I'm not going to crack out the list. If there's anything that you want to see, feel free to comment below. Anything you want me to go through again, let me know. Like I said, I will be covering how to do all these in Fusion 360, but this is such an easy program from these. So I did just want to go through it here first in case you prefer it, and we'll take it from there. Okay, but otherwise, thank you so much. Have a lovely night. Hopefully this sound records so I don't have to re-record this video, but you take care, guys. Bye.